John Deere is like the mossy oak of farming, right? And it's like it's a fashion statement on top of the fact that they are a cultural like staple and they did this. Why?
All right. Well, without further ado, let's move on to our second segment here. And that's with looks like John Deere and DEI initiatives. Ha-
Yeah,
Didn't they learn from Bud Light?
and TSC.
Yeah, right.
I think they were all running concurrent, honestly. Um they they basically they pushed DEI to the nth degree, and the issue with it was it was pushed in. Anybody who's worked in a corporate setting or a semi-corporate setting where you have everything on an app, like they were shoving the DEI rainbow, everything down everybody's throat through every avenue they possibly could. Not only, oh, I see you got Benny Johnson's video queued up here. It's pretty awful, and when he goes down through the videos of what the breakdown was, it's yeah, we're about to explore all of their motives and the potential impact on their company with this one. And this right here is amazing, Benny's opening. Let's go. Our friend Maximus, is this you?
Yeah, right.
And that's your kid.
That totally be his kid.
That's
What's up,
totally
guys? Boy,
his kid.
Benny. I'm going to warn you, this one's going to hurt. If you grew up in farmland America, so many people in America, millions of people, grow up either on farms or around farms. This one's going to suck because John Deere has gone completely and totally woke. I grew up in a cornfield in Iowa, surrounded by cornfields and hog farms. I worked on farms in order to make scratch, to go to school, went to the community college and University of Iowa, where all the tech is like built out by John Deere. The community college I went to had like a John Deere center. So this is something that I have close personal experience with. Members of my family worked for John Deere. Where John Deere is located in Moline is where my parents lived for 20 years. And so I know this brand really, really well. And man, the modern era sucks. We grew up at Tractor Supply, and that story has a happy ending. But this John Deere one, I guess we'll wait and see. It's breaking right now. The very same Robbie Starbuck, who got himself a very happy ending after going to war effectively with the woke inside of Tractor Supply, because Tractor Supply was doing alphabet training, funding Pride Progress events, drag events, sex changes, climate activism, Pride Month decorations in the offices, and DEI hiring practices, along with alphabet events at work, which is like, why would you do this if you're Tractor Supply? Again, it's a totally different thing if you run like a soy company out of Vermont, right? If you're Ben and Jerry's, then we understand that that's your clientele's culture. But this isn't your culture, right? Your clientele doesn't agree with you here. Well, Tractor Supply, of course, had destroyed their stock value. There was a boycott called for Tractor Supply, lost billions of dollars. And then Tractor Supply went ahead and did a little, see if you can see the difference. See if you can see the moment when the boycott took effect. See if you can see on the Tractor Supply app here, the total and complete unmitigated victory by you and I and our ability to apply external and internal pressure on this company to change. And this is what happened with Tractor Supply. I'm only going over this because, well, it's about to happen to John Deere. And hopefully it happens quickly, because I'm a big fan of John Deere product, and I'm also a big fan of Tractor Supply.
Yeah. I mean,
John Deere is like, oh, what's the they're like the mossy oak of farming, right? Most people I know that buy mossy oak stuff are buying like tumblers and camo sweatshirts, and it's like it's a fashion statement on top of the fact that I have plenty of mossy oak, branded camouflage for, when I'm shooting things like what's hanging on the wall behind me, right? I got that. That's my first deer skull, by the way. But they are a cultural like staple, and they did this. Why?
My son has a John Deere hat. You know, too bad for them because I happened to find a picture of Sunbelt franchise owners right now, and they're kind of, I don't
I've
know
rented
what you
from
would call
Sunbelt.
this, but
Oh, that's Sunbelt.
they're kind of they're going to be rolling in dough over the next couple of months. What do you think?
Bro. Dude, I tell you what. And John Deere's in more hot water than just this is probably going to hurt them big time, but they've been in a constant battle with even the owners of their equipment because there's this right to own thing, if you've not heard of it, right?
Oh yeah.
And Louis Rossmann is the freaking tip of the spear of this movement of right to own. And I just watched a video of his today. He was grilling Google. But when he was talking about John Deere tractors don't just start up and go and, get your harvest on. They have computers in them. They have tech, right? They have management systems in them like your modern cars do. Fuel injections of all of the things. Anything you could possibly think of that could be computer controlled in a John Deere, whether it's an excavator or especially their big harvesters, there's computer systems. Well, it's proprietary. And if that stuff breaks, you have to go to a John Deere dealership. You can't fix it yourself. And it's expensive. And it sucks. You, as an owner of a John Deere, unless it's under warranty, I think if you buy a thing, it's new, warranty, you take it to them, it's their problem. They fix it. But as soon as that warranty's up, you should have every right as the rightful owner of that thing, which John Deere has abandoned you now because there's no warranty. You have every right to go and take that thing to somebody else that knows how to open that thing up and connect to that computer and fix it, or do it yourself if you know how to do it. Because let's just be honest, there are high-tech rednecks out here, and we exist. I'm just saying.
Touche, my friend.
That's the other problem that John Deere has. And now they're going to done this. Now you've got, come on, Kubota, where you at? My dad owns Kubota. He doesn't have any John Deeres. Why? Because some of this stuff. It's not an advertisement for them, but I guess it is in a way. It's word of mouth, right? Like, people are going to go somewhere else.
And I'm pretty sure there are plenty of other options. Like I said, there's Sunbelt, there's Tractor Supply, there's what's the one that's out here in the Northeast that I see a lot?
I'm not sure, but there's tons of rental companies that'll rent out every kind of, piece of equipment there is. And, if you, like here, I think Sunbelt they're the one with that's green with the saw blade, right? I think I rented from them when I worked on a basement waterproofing crew at one point. And, but they will supply not just John Deere stuff, but they'll supply other companies stuff too. And depends on who their contracts are. And they might swap out. These rental companies are the ones that a lot of times, if you just have a single job, you go there and you rent a jackhammer for the weekend. And, John Deere's in a lot of the different, everything from a riding mower. My neighbor's got one that we use and we share to do the lawns and whatnot. I could go and I could rent somebody else's stuff. I could go get a Cub Cadet instead, an MTD. Guess what? Made in Ohio.
Yep.
Mic drop. Let's go.
Look at Makey. Makey's like, yep, we like Kubota.
Right. That's Georgia. Like, these are boys that live out in the middle of nowhere. I know where that guy is.
Oh man, this is great.
This is they need to woke up is what they need to do and knock it off. John Deere.
There we go. All right, let's continue.
Tractor Supply, in case you need an update, effectively reversed virtually all DEI woke policies and apologized to their customers and said that they're going to now triple down on funding small farmers and veterans outreach, and that they will no longer be pushing wokeness. Tractor Supply said this in a company statement, and they went insanely viral for this, and everybody viewed it as just a monster success. And so, ladies and gentlemen, here we go, round two. Time to expose John Deere. Apparently, Robbie who's a friend of the program, has been in contact with whistleblowers inside of John Deere, which is the most beloved tractor brand, I think, inarguably, by conservative farmers.
I got a question. Out of all the supplies that John Deere has, how many DEI, like, I don't know what I would call them, representatives or customers, do you think they have?
Oh, they're, I guess, I mean, they're like Ford, bro. I mean, between John Deere and Kubota International, Husqvarna, I mean, there's Case. I think Case and Cat are about the only one. And I mean, but you know, Cat gets that, you get into like big stuff, excavators and whatnot. But John Deere makes some of that stuff too, right? They're known for farming, but they make big contract stuff too. They're huge.
No, what are they, number 2 in the country?
They're in, you know, they're up there.
All right, let's see.
They're definitely in the top 5, if not 3.
But their woke CEO, John May's watch, they have been funding pride events for kids younger than 3, gingerbread man training, asking employees to their preferred pronouns on all communications, letting Bill Gates be their largest shareholder. Well, that makes sense. John, makes sense why they go woke, right?
Right.
John Deere celebrated accounting and finance team taking United for Equity program. United for Equity programs push all this anti-racist stuff and bigotry against Christians and white people. Woke policies have spread across the global John Deere brand. Many of their DEI policies have been forced on their American employees. And you have, obviously, Alphabet and DEI groups that have their own little carve-outs and racist hiring practices, which you can see here, right? Diversity, equity, and inclusion right here on the John Deere page here.
Hold on.
I think these guys, I think the CEO's pronouns are going to be has been and was were if he don't change his tune.
Where is it? Where's the diversity in this picture?
What white are you talking about?
What?
You're gonna have to black up the reel real quick. I can't tell.
Diversity, equity, inclusion, and not one black person in the photo. Like, how rude. But no, to close this segment out, look at what's going on with Boeing right now. Boeing is taking a massive hit because of this initiative. And now we know. And now we know why. So, I mean, yeah, go ahead and hire somebody that knows what they're doing, or, a black guy from the city because he needs a job, whatever reason. But like, eventually you're going to have to understand that qualifications mean something. And trying to go out and find people that don't want to work for the company is not going to help you either. So I don't know what the initiative is on some of these companies when there are just some people that are just not interested.
Right. But here's the thing, though. They couldn't go into the South and find some black farmers?
Oh, right?
How many black farmers do you think are in the South? You can't find some Cajun that knows how to do that? Like, come on. Like, that's the thing, is like, they're not even utilizing the people that exist.
Mm-hmm.
You want to talk about, just reality check? Go into the South and tell me there aren't black farmers. Shut up. I mean, it must, you go up into the North a little farther, not so much, but I mean, there were tons of farms and plantations. If you want to go back and talk about the 400 years of oppression and use their thing, it's like, look, how many owned their own farms and plantations through all of that and passed it on down their family? Not many, but they exist. And some of them to this day.
Exactly.
And you can't go find them. You can't go, hey, we want to include you and tell your history of how your family, owned this since the beginning. But no, that doesn't, nope.
You mean to tell me they can't go into Jackson, Mississippi and put up a job fair and find exactly what they need.
Bro.
El Paso, San Diego, you can't get exactly what you need.
Bro, up here, you got I'm just gonna say you got so many Mexican farmhands in Ohio, it's stupid. Like like they work the tail off. You can't find some people from John, like you can't find these people. They exist. They're here. Oh, but they don't want to. But
They're
what
here
they
now.
don't want, what they don't want to do is put off that image of migrant worker, slave labor, all of that. They don't want to put, they don't want to do that. So John Deere's painted himself into a corner with this, right? They're saying all the right things, but their image is still white people running the show.
Yeah, it's like the Hollister of farm equipment.